I don't usually make videos like this. I mean, it's not completely out of my field to talk about crazy news mostly involving entertainment, but I've only ever done it as shorts since I feel like it isn't worth my time to make full-length videos on them. Same with the main reviews as well. But boy oh boy, this story is so crazy that I need to make a video on it. You read the title, you know this video is about Disney, and do I really need to give an introduction? People love Disney movies and parks, but hate the money-hungry corporation behind it. I'm one of those people. Disney has made a lot of things I love, but at the same time, they've also made and done things that I hate. It's why when it comes to exemplifying how modern capitalism has crumbled our society, they're an easy target. However, something recently came out about them that is so unbelievably evil that it doesn't feel real. So back in February of this year, a man sued Walt Disney World, accusing them of being negligent in his wife's death back in October of 2023. They were dining in the Disney Springs shopping center and they ate at the Rowgan Road Irish pub since the man's wife, who was a doctor, had a dairy and nut allergy. The lawsuit claims that the waiter promised that there were allergen-free menu items, so the wife ordered said allergen-free items and it ended up being the opposite of what she wanted, which caused her to have an allergic reaction and tragically die. So you might think that Disney would either sell it out of court and take rightful action, or they would go to trial and defend themselves, right? Well, and this is the part that has been causing headlines lately, they took option number 3 and asked to dismiss it because, and get this, the man signed up for a free trial of Disney Plus and bought tickets to Epcot. That is just a whole another level of evil. It's like the kind of evil you'd only see in cartoons. Basically, they're saying that if you subscribe to Disney Plus or buy tickets to their parks online, you have no legal grounds to sue them. They can purposely kill your family, and when you try to sue, they'd be like, yeah, well, you consumed our product, so you can't do that. Like, why hasn't this been investigated yet? They also pulled this with their new disability pass that has been widely criticized for potentially violating ADA's guidelines. Yeah, it's that bad. And if you're wondering, yes, they are actual terms, and I didn't even have to scroll through the entire terms of service to see it. It's right at the top of the page. It's like selling your soul, and it feels very dystopian. I think what baffles me the most about this is that Disney Plus has nothing to do with this. Maybe it makes sense for the park tickets, but what is bringing Disney Plus into this gonna solve? Just to push your streaming service further? The fact that they likely had to scour through data to find the man's name in any past purchases just so they can have a point is pretty gross. You could literally make any attempt to argue against the suit, and it wouldn't be as bad as bringing up your streaming service out of nowhere when the incident happened at your shopping center. I've seen some people compare this to a time when Disney rejected a grieving father from putting Spider-Man on his dead son's headstone because copyright, and yes, that is very bad, and it's related to how Disney's legal team treats their customers like shit, but at the same time, I don't know why they need to be compared, because using your streaming service and theme parks as a shield to avoid any legal accountability for something you yourself are responsible for is 100 times worse than refusing to allow Spider-Man to be painted on a piece of rock. But I know that might just be me, since so many people bring this up every time Disney does something bad because, oh, dead child, when it's literally so tame compared to everything else they've done. Another thing I want to point out is that some have been putting the blame on Bob Iger because this happened under him along with the Spider-Man thing I just mentioned, and yes, I hate that motherfucker too, but I think putting the blame on one CEO when Disney, like every media conglomerate out there, has had a history of doing really nasty stuff, it's just kinda stupid, especially since it's all been under not just different CEOs, but different presidents of different divisions, this case being Disney's legal team. And yes, if these decisions are approved by the company, then they too take responsibility, but the other heads that are choosing to make these decisions also represent Disney, so yeah. Now, Disney did release a statement in response to reports regarding the bad press towards them, and surprise surprise, they doubled down. They say that while they are sorry for the loss of the doctor, they don't want to be involved in the suit because the restaurant is not owned nor operated by them. And in fairness, had they said that in their filing, it would have been a much stronger case. I mean, it still wouldn't have been a good argument since the incident happened on their property, but you get what I mean. But they didn't go with that. And now that they said paying for Disney Plus shields them from legal consequences, this statement doesn't mean jack squat. Plus, it doesn't make sense for them to say that they are merely defending themselves when they ask for the lawsuit to be dropped simply because plaintiff used Disney Plus. It actually shocks me that this is legal. Discord and McDonald's have gotten into hot water over the same thing, but now with Disney, we're starting to see the effects of it. It might just be one of, if not, the worst thing they've ever done. And that is saying a lot because I've studied their history for years. But honestly, am I even surprised that they would sink this low? Like I just said, Disney is a massive corporation in the entertainment industry. They care more about profits over consumers, which is why corporations will never be your friends. It's nothing new. And if I learned anything from the writers and actors strikes last year, is that there is no media conglomerate that's better than another. They all equally don't care about morality and just want to thrive. Comments like, oh, at least this corporation isn't as evil as this other one, and haha, the studio must be seething at the studio succeeding, are just so painfully naive to me and come across as blatant favoritism and stupid speech impairment. Blatant favoritism and hypocrisy. It just sucks. It sucks that so many things I love that are created by wonderful and talented artists are owned by greedy and heartless businessmen that don't see any value in the people who make their products and only see their consumers as numbers. I guess these are the side effects of living under a capitalist country. God, I cannot wait until we overthrow the system in the next few years. The best I can do right now is to encourage my viewers to cancel their subscriptions to Disney Plus or not sign up at all. If the price hikes, BDS's calls for a boycott of the service, or the fact that streaming has ruined the entire entertainment landscape wasn't enough to convince you, I think now's the best time to do so. Of course, I'll continue to love Disney's output and perks, and I'm not gonna stop anyone from doing so, but I think a lot of Disney fans need to realize that Disney the brand and Disney the corporation are not the same. I can excuse crying at a theme park, but giving applause to a billionaire that wanted writers and actors dead? Yeah, a line has to be drawn somewhere. We'll just have to see how things play out with the lawsuit, but I doubt Disney is gonna win this with the nothing burger excuses they have. If they can't fool Magic Key holders about blockout dates, then they aren't fooling anyone here. And I thought Disney's lawyers were the most powerful there are. I'm Miyachi, and this concludes my broadcast day. Thanks for watching, everyone. And support physical media forever because f*** streaming and f*** Disney Plus.